expected, so that's always a good thing. But, of course, we got our next series now that's going to be coming at you of what is going to be Willowkeeper that we saw earlier today against Reason Gaming. Again, looking pretty good, losing the series in the end, but still looking like a solid team. Going up against The Last of Us. Kind of the same boat. They're coming off a win, actually, earlier today over Shrek Is Love, one of the other newcomer teams this cycle here in the Carnegie Cultivar Pro League. So they got the momentum in that sense, but again, we really are expecting this to be a great, great series here. I say we because obviously going to be joined back by Mini Maggot once again. Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hey, we got Warbeast already coming out here for The Last of Us, and you know, that's always what you got. He plays that jungle. Warbeast plays it well, so kind of sticking to their guns with that. They go with the Drunken Master as well. A lot of physical presence already standing out here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's the Flux pick, actually. It was banned out by Reason Gaming in the second game, actually, but hopefully we get to see Cracky play that Flux, actually. They might even potentially get the Engineer as well. We saw the Magnus Flux last series yesterday as well, and we saw how strong that was. So it might follow the same lines as well in this game as well. So.
Indeed. You'll see. Is Pay Vindicator maybe? It's good potential here. No, probably. Probably not going to see Vindicator this game. This is not a Vindicator game. We'll stick with Reason Gaming on that.
Yeah.
Berserker being right click. Now, you know, again, they were kind of joking about it before the game, and everything with me, but they made it work, man. And I would not put it past them to go with this pickup, honestly. They already have a lot of physical and carry potential, but.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, they've kind of got like two of their core heroes already, and like putting a Berserker in the mix as well. I just think that's too much physical damage and just almost too much farm as well to sort of rotate. Obviously, they're going to be picking up a support as well as in the next two picks, and I think they picked up the Berserker. Then that's just three heroes that all need a lot of farming, and they all focus too much on physical, and they sort of are lacking quite an early game potential, which I said before that Willowkeeper would really like to sort of run the early aggression and gank potential, and if they pick up the Berserker here, I really think they might lose out just on the sort of rotation and ganks coming out from Willowkeeper. But we will see. They did pick up the Empath actually, so it might even be a Berserker, but I don't know. I wouldn't be too fond of it anyway, just because I think it might be too weak in the early stages.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up going with in the. I mean, I do agree with you that they do go with Devour in the end actually, as their pickup when it's all said and done. So, I mean, as far as the lane setup goes, I mean, there's definitely some potential to kind of do maybe be a little bit different. I don't. Would you expect to see maybe the Drunken Master short lane here or?
Yeah, I think that's probably the way they're going to run, and then probably just Bubble Suicide and Warbeast Jungle. We saw the last. I think it was the Last of Us anyway when they were playing against CiC. Was that the, or was that? I think that might have been Shrek Is Love. Was that
The Last of Us played yesterday? They played. It was CiC Esports.
Yeah, and we talked about how Warbeast being the quite a passive jungler, whatever, and we saw the Ophelia pick up and really kind of just destroyed the other lanes because Warbeast's passivity was just too passive, and they almost lost before before it even started the game almost, and we might see something similar here. I mean, I talked about how Willowkeeper are really focused on the early game, sort of early aggression, and then picking up the Warbeast and the Drunken Master. At least they have sort of somewhat early game with Devourer now, but still the Warbeast pickup might be punished here, particularly if they run like an aggressive tri-lane, perhaps in the case of Willowkeeper. But they've got to pick up. I think they've got to pick up a hero for Balthazar, which is the carry hero. We saw Valkyrie picked up, kind of a peculiar pick. We haven't seen Valkyrie for a while, but something along those lines that can maybe get involved earlier on, perhaps.
They must have been listening. They must have been listening earlier. I mean, honestly, this is not Berserker status for me, but no, it was a lot of fun to watch the last time. I wonder, is that going to end up in Boxy's hands, though, or are we going to see it in Balthazar, actually?
If it's going to be the trial, I think we will see Boxy play it, but if it's not, then I think Balthazar will be carrying, because I know Boxy, he's normally one of the sort of trick players, kind of like, one of the star players, and if it's going to be in a tri lane, they like to have him in a lane where you can make plays, which obviously a tri lane probably prefer. But the way they're setting up, it looks like they're probably going to run maybe the tri lane with the Magnus instead, and obviously Balthazar's on the Gunblade, so he'll probably be solo lane, solo short perhaps, with this Gunblade, and then send maybe the Magnus tri lane, the way they're sort of setting things up. I mean, it's not going to be a jungle Magnus just because the players on the rolls, Cracky on the Flux, and Root on the Torturer. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a tri-lane coming out, or at least an aggressive dual lane at the least, trying to punish this War Beast in its own jungle, perhaps.
Yeah. Now, again, the thing with Gunblade is, way in the past, before we ended up seeing it with this team here, you know, I was always asked, I randomly would ask my co-casters every now and then, like, who do you think the worst hero in Han is? Honestly, I got Gunblade several times from different people, and so it's like, you think Gunblade, and when they picked it up the first time, I was like, okay, well, what are these guys about? But again, he wrecked with it. I mean, the hero honestly has some really good, decent burst potential, a lot of physical presence, and that W is actually makes it very difficult to kill, too, with that demonic shield. So,
and one important thing to know, actually, I'm about 85% sure with Warbeast. Obviously, when he goes in ulti form, he goes max smooth, max speed. If Gunblade does ulti Warbeast, he's going to be following him while Warbeast is still max speed. So there's some kind of synergy and sort of counterplay to this Warbeast pickup, and I like it. I mean, I've seen. I think Gunblade is quite a strong counter to Doctor Repulsor as well, because I don't think Doctor Repulsor can ulti away when that happens and stuff. But as we said, I think it's going to be an aggressive dual lane, because they're sort of setting up here with Magnus and Torture in the long lane, trying to punish this Bubbles, it seems, in the short lane. And but Luna's rotating top, though, so they won't be dual mid with the Flux. Instead, they're going to keep it solo. Now, I talked about how Tree really don't like to run the dual mid. So Flux, although it seems that he's going to be might fare quite badly, I think he'll do quite well, particularly as Willowkeeper barely ever play. Oh no, they are going to rotate mid then, so scrap everything I just said pretty much.
There you go. Yeah, they send the Luna there, so it is going to be the 2 versus 2 here in the middle lane now. You know, in the set they do technically have that double range, of course, but if you're Devo here, if you're looking for the hook, you're obviously looking for that Luna to ideally hook in, but.
Yeah, I've stated this. Oh, they're not going in, perhaps? No, they're not going to chuck anything out. I've said this before, that if you're running, say, like a dual range lane, normally you have the favour in terms of sort of CS, just because of the amount of harass you can put on the melee hero. But in terms of kill, it's normally the melee and the ranged has the superior sort of potential for a kill, and I think this is the same case here. If the Havara lands a hook on this Luna, I'm pretty sure she's 100% dead. So as long as Fusen, has got some quick reactions and some side steps in him, I'm pretty sure the lane's going to be won here for the Hellborn side. It just depends if they're going to feed or not, pretty much. Yeah,
so we'll see. Obviously, Tumen Aruno not coming up just yet, but he's doing a little bit of roam down to the bottom side here. He is going to be spotted, though, by this Warbeast. Actually throws out a power throw. We'll hit him. You see Warbeast, though, going to attempt to counter ward, and definitely going to be able to get it here. Sends a Hellhound in to take care of business. Another Rev ward's put down, though, and that's actually going to see that ward of sight, most likely. Yeah. Maybe? He has to go uphill here. Okay.
This is like leaving like Flux away in the middle lane. They might even they hook.
Ooh, close.
Yeah, I was like, if that hit, that could have been definitely a dead Flux there. Like if you're the support player, like if you stray away from the lane you're in, you can easily end up killing your partner in a sense. In the bottom lane though, they're going to have sort of somewhat hard time trying to kill this Bubbles though, because Bubbles is such a sort of wriggly hero, kind of hard to shut down, and Torturers might just be trying to focus on shutting down this Warbeast farm actually, although what you've got is doing quite well though. 225 GPM with an aggressive dual lane isn't too bad. I mean, obviously he hasn't died yet, so.
As far as, I mean, there were no camps that were blocked, at least from what I saw at the start too, so that's something to keep in mind too, which is kind of curious from Willowkeeper, especially if they're going to the dual aggressive lane. And actually Torture, he's in trouble. He has the impalement up. There's a stun from Magnus trying to assist Bubbles, getting another auto attack off. He can't, and that secures the kill for the Legion team right there. So that is huge.
We've talked about how good of a player what you got is on that Warbeast, but such innovation, using the Hellhound just to get that extra bit of damage, and good man up coming out from Swift lane there. Really getting the first bubble, which shouldn't really occur, honestly, and now he's going to have such an easy time now in this bottom lane. This Magnus and Torture are going to be able to do nothing. Like he's like higher than both of them in a 1v2 lane, which really shouldn't happen. Really, he should be getting shut down, but in the end, has high GPM, and then the Magnus, which is just such an insane thing, really, honestly.
Yeah, that was definitely, and you think Warbeast, you think of more of a passive jungler, especially compared to others. So yeah, that's the last thing you would expect is him to come into assistance for a kill. But sure enough, as you said, he has a lot of experience on this hero, and we've seen it before. He definitely knows what he's doing with it, and great assistance right there. So sets up the Bloodlust kill. Top lane, there's a lot of back and forth up here. Gunblade nearly dropping, but is able to stay alive. And actually, yeah, you see right there, Drunken Master, if he gets in stagger range, that could possibly be a kill. Granted, he would be diving the tower. There's no more regen on Gunblade either. Okay, he has a health potion here that he just got delivered, so going to be able to pop that. But how is that top farm doing? 12-4 Gunblade. You're looking at an 8-1 Drunken Master. So it's in favor of Baltazar here, but Drunken, the strong laner that he is, Fuzzy Sloth managing decent farm here in the end. Not
yeah,
too surprising.
and interesting like item build up. This Drunken Master has sort of ditched the bottle, decided to go for a Trinket Restoration and a health potion actually, which I'm not too fond of. I think the bottle works quite well with Drunken Master though, because then you could sort of use the sort of stagger for the mana regen, and whilst you're taking harass from the sort of the range hero, you can bottle that up, which is sort of double efficiency coming out for the bottle. Which I think he should maybe have gone the bottle, but he decided to go that instead. Where's that Trinket Restoration go? It's on the courier.
It's on the courier, yeah.
Oh,
that is what you got. So yeah, that makes a little more sense.
I was pretty confused. But I think this Drunken Master should definitely go bottle though.
Okay.
I just think because that way he can at least sort of guard top rune as well as having a bit more presence in the lane. Like, he's 141 GPM actually at the moment, and I think he should be doing a little bit better. I mean, Gunblade is a strong 1v1 hero, but I think Drunken is almost one of the strongest in the laning phase, and I think he should be doing a little bit better than this. And this could come back down to he went boot or marches instead of bottle, and as a result, or middle lane actually.
Yeah, middle lane Empath. It's gonna fall right through. The power throw comes through now. Devour. He has the rot up. And actually, double damage. Flux doing plenty of damage, and he picks up the double tap for Fusin, actually, on Aluna. So they go in, they end up with 2 kills in the end. That did start because Devour went for a hook. He ended up missing it, and they knew they had a lot of free time right there, and plus a little bit out of position. So good response there from Willowkeeper.
And that did Flux really playing up. Like, Flux is a good laner, honestly. Like he has like the tankiness of a melee hero, but then the ranged harass of a ranged hero. So
yeah,
really paying off in the middle lane. And then that's the problem. If you don't land these hooks on a Devourer, like he's obviously that's not offering anything into a middle lane. The reason why BMG were picking up is because Super KG almost had like an aimbot on his hooks, and it's just not the case of Diglett. I don't know if he's confident with playing the hero, but either way, it's just not working out in the middle lane.
Oh my gosh. I caught that on camera. I mean, I think that was a simple of Drunken Master underestimating the power of Gunblade. He actually went on a Gunblade right there with about half-life. It was near his tower, so he was figuring that. And that almost came to play, but Gunblade just turned it around and hit him pretty hard. And we saw that bottom lane now. The Bobbles gets caught out in the jungle. He's going to end up falling as he uses the take cover. Not enough, though. Flux is still chasing the Warbeast. The hasted Flux. You are not getting away from that, good sir. And he will fall too. Turning on the momentum is Willowkeeper. And, well, Samuel L. Jackson said it best right there.
Yeah, and this is what I talked about before, like how Willowkeeper really do like to, get involved earlier on. And going back to the point about Devourer, though, if you don't do well in lane, this hero just falls off completely. It just offers absolutely nothing. And you really do need to win that middle lane if this hero is going to be effective in the draft. And at the moment, it's really not. This Flock is honestly dominating already. Like, level 7... compared to a level 5 Devourer, 300 GPM, and he's just going to be a real tough guy to take down. And when Cracky plays Flux, he actually normally goes the Insanitarius build, and he sort of tries to tank up whenever he plays the Flux. Yeah, and he kind of plays it almost like a semi-carry. I have seen him go Portal Key, but I really do like when he goes in Sanitarius, actually. And it's really strong, in my opinion, but we'll have to see.
That's almost like an odd item to see on a range hero in general, but
yeah.
I mean, he is obviously a tank hero, he's a strength hero, and could definitely benefit from that. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but that would be interesting to see if that's still what he goes for.
That's the iron building, or middle lane, actually. They're going on Devourer.
Yeah. He's good, and actually Flux is in trouble. Here comes Warbeast in his ulti form. Nice done from Aluna, but it's not going to matter. Flux is going to fall, and obviously that backfired right there. Again, the assistance, though, of what you got. He's coming in. Who says he's a passive jungler? He's making the best, and he might go for 2 kills, actually. The hook lands, and Aluna will fall. Big plays right there coming out from Devour as he got the angle.
Or Devourer, that should be fun. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you can land those hooks on Devourer, then the hero is perfect, to be picked up, and he's really good. But at the moment, he wasn't landing hooks, and then he lands 2 hooks there, and they're instant kills, and that's the strength of Devourer. Really, it's one of those hit and miss things. If he can dominate a lane, or he can really sort of fall off. But well played coming out from Diglett, hitting those hooks on what's his ping anyway? I don't think his ping's like that low.
No,
it's quite low, but
well, it's low, but yeah, it's not like. Well, I mean, the pings. I was actually looking at that. I mean, again, this is. It's been a long time since we've had to really, because with the Haunter Law, it's just automatic anyways and everything. But you know, this has been brought up, and obviously Last of Us is the only American team right now, and so we're kind of back in that place of like, is it fair and whatnot, blah blah blah. But it is USC servers whenever they're matched up in these cases, and you see, I mean, the Willow Keepers, it's worse ping for them, sure, but it's not like over the top bad by any means. But that is what it is. So.
And that could even be the reason why they may have even drafted Devour. I mean, trying to sidestep a hook on a higher ping is a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And drafting to that kind of advantage is quite smart, actually, in terms of Last of Us. So if that did have anything to play, I think that's quite clever. A top lane, actually.
Yeah, we see Gunblade going in with a Luna. That is going to be a dead Drunken Master. Again, you definitely get an idea of that burst potential of Gunblade. Sure, he had assistance right there, but that was a full life Drunken Master that eventually ended up falling. You see a Luna trying to get a range for maybe a power throw, but Bubbles falling back before much else happened. So, speaking of Gunblade, he's only farming 290 gold per minute. I almost thought he would have been better, to be honest. Seems like he's having a good time at this top lane, but I mean, his creep farm's not the greatest. But yeah, middle lane there, diving Flux. He decides to step it initially. He puts the release out. Now he is tanky. Can he get support in time? Here comes Torture. Chain reactions comes out. Flux is still alive. He pulls and Devour, doing as much damage as possible. More ports are coming in, including Gunblade. He has that grappling shot. No, it's already on cooldown as he used it earlier, but Devour main to falling. Yes, he will. The auto attacks too much. Torture goes down, but they get the kill on a Warbeast in the end. So the response is there for Willowkeeper. Big dive, though, from The Last of Us.
Yeah, it was slightly a bit late, though. I'm not really, like, they were starting to dive onto to Flux, and the TPs were coming in like about 10 seconds late. Yeah, they did end up getting the kill on Devour and Warbeast, which is definitely good, and the rotation was good and all. But I think if they were like slightly quicker, I think Flux would have survived as well, unfortunately. But in the end, he did die, so bit of a shame. But
he goes down. He's still, well, his GPM has actually dropped up. But as I was just talking about Gunblade, his GPM not being, as much as I thought. Now he's around 350, so it's definitely stepped up there. Bottom lane, Drunken Master, they're really trying to keep Fuzzy Sloth locked down, and this is going to be, well, they're going to go for it at least. Even the power throw comes in. He's able to stagger away. Pops the untouchable, mitigating some damage right here. But again, they're just going to dive that tower, and they are going to get a kill. And, well, as we talked about, no TPs coming out. I mean, they only had one on Warbeast, and probably wouldn't have been able to do the most anyway, so.
Interesting iron pick up here by Boxy. He's gone for the Helm of the Black Legion, something we actually never, ever see on a Magmus. But he's like, I said, this whole team kind of goes items they feel is necessary, whether it's like on the meta game, kind of the items. They just go what they feel is right for the game, and Boxy literally just does what he wants pretty much. Like he's not going to follow the quote unquote correct way to play a hero. If he feels it's necessary, then he'll pick up the iron. I mean, I think he'll still go for a portal key, but he might get it obviously after this Helm of Black Legion, I think.
Huh.
Or hook.
Yeah, that was just barely dodged there by Torture. But yeah, no, I mean, Helm of the Black Legion, I mean, I remember there was a little bit of a phase back in the Stay Green Day. I mean, when they first really started just absolutely dominant, I think Helm of the Black Legion was actually a thing. Like, everyone would pick up Helm of the Black Legion, or at least the majority of their heroes in terms of early on, because it's a very, very effective item in that early game stage. Now, obviously, it kind of tapers off and not so effective in the mid to really late game, but it does allow you to dive those towers a little bit more and play a little bit extra aggressive. Now, obviously, a portal key could also get you to those spots, so that's where the whole debate would come in, sure. But I mean, my point is, I can definitely see justification for this with the Helm of the Black Legion pickup. So it's kind of interesting, though, seeing as you said, they kind of go with what they think fits best. And hey, I'm a fan of innovation, so glad to see that. He is going to use his ultimate right here to clean up the Ancients, or at least get what he can here. So it's some good farm. Assassin Shroud first item on Gunblade is what he's going for. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to remember now. I was kind of curious what he was going to get, and so it looks like it is going to be the Assassin Shroud first.
Yeah, he's kind of a similar hero to like Puppet Master in the sense that he's kind of good ganking potential, particularly with his ultimate. He can get does a lot of damage, early burst damage actually on the grappling shots, similar to Puppet's ulti as well. He might be in trouble here with Devouring Viz actually.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Flux ultimate as soon as he does. Gunblade's like, hello, you're kind of next to me there.
But yeah, like with Gunblade, you really want to max sort of agility preferably on the hero, because that it works. It has so much synergy with the demonic shield his W, because obviously the higher agility he has, the more damage absorption his shield gives. So I mean, getting like the Gunjuro obviously is a good item pickup, obviously after the Assassin Shroud, etc., etc. So anything that just gives him agility will be a good item pickup here for Gunblade.
God, really is a strong ability, man. It's minimal mana cost, only 65 mana. And it's only on a 10-second downtime, really, because it lasts for 8 seconds and it's an 18-second cooldown. So, and you get the movement speed from it. Yeah, I'm kind of just looking, obviously, again, not a hero we see often, so I kind of just have to refresh myself and what the hell it does. And yeah, no, that's a strong ability. The grappling shot, another thing to note about that, not only does it latch yourself on and apply the damage and the 1-second stun, but also the minus armor is a pretty big thing too. -5 armor and the -7 at level 3. So. Now, this isn't the most physical threatening team here overall on the Hellborn side, but for him alone, it's definitely going to be very powerful to take advantage of here. As there you go, he finishes the Assassin Shroud. So as far as the Legion team goes, though, and their item progression, I mean, Warbeast T is doing well. He's got the Abyssal Skull and the Steam Boots now. So it seems like The Last of Us, though, they're kind of avoiding a little bit right now. They're taking out some triple stack Ancients and farming it up instead. Trying to get back in terms of early item progression here, but you could tell Willowkeeper, they want to keep the pace up. They're in the Legion jungle currently. Trying to find the Magnus buying a Mana Tube here, so...
Yeah, I just noticed that. So I guess he probably won't be going to the Portal Key. I think they might leave the Portal Key for a Krake instead, which is quite... I don't know, I guess it's different and, it's their decision, but I still think a Portal Key on Magnus will just help his initiation completely. And he still has the potential to get in stopped as well. Like, if he wants to, man up and be sort of the battle build Magnus, then he needs a stronger head, because then that way he can, middle lane, the Devour's going to fall. But going like, if he's going to sort of be the battle builder up front in Magnus, his eruption is not going to be easily taken off unless he has a stronger head, because otherwise he won't be able to stun in and then erupt.
Yeah.
Whereas Portal Key, he could just erupt and then stun after the Portal Key. So we'll have to see how that's going to work out here for Boxy, but I guess one of those players who just feels what he wants to do and
yeah.
finds the items he wants to go with, I guess.
Exactly. I feel like kind of Fresh Pro is almost kind of like that from way back in the day. You just win some odd items sometimes. As I always said, it is Fresh Pro, so who knows. But in this case, it's Boxy. Who knows what he's going to go for? But there was almost an engagement. I thought there for sure was going to be an engagement right there, but no follow-up after the Empath Wall came out. Magnus is fairly tanky with that Helm of the Black Legion. He's got a Mystic Vestments here, so it's not like they would have had an absolute guaranteed kill by any means, and that would have been forcing a fight that maybe they weren't ready for. So in the end, no harm, no foul there, and back to farming we go as Gunblade. Okay, just getting a TP delivered there. So again, as far as the follow-ups, you're kind of talking about maybe similar to like a Puppet Master in that sense. So should we expect to see then the Shrunken Head follow-up, or maybe that Geometer's Bane for stacking the agility? Or
yeah, like in terms of Shrunken Head though, I mean, there's not much he's going to be really taking or sort of stopping with the Shrunken Head. Yeah, it's going to stop the silence from bubbles and the kelp field, as well as the essence link from Empath, but like the Devour ult is still going to go through, so the lockdown is still going to be there, as well as the physical damage from Drunken, as well as Warbeast. And I don't think Shrunken Head is necessarily needed here for Balthazar. I mean, I probably would just go with the Geometers, but it's going to help his agility anyway. Middle lane Devour hits the hook.
He hit it, but it's like, it's flux. So
yeah,
by yourself, you're not going to get a kill.
Yeah. And I mean, Geometers would probably be the next logical build up here. And like, there's no screaming sort of heroes that he needs to get a Shrunken Head for. So yeah. I think the Geometers would be the next logical item choice, really.
Fair enough, and I think something like a Soul's Bulwark, too, could actually be pretty potent here for the Hellborn team overall, especially for him. So, I mean, a Demonic Breastplate seems like it could ultimately be a great item on himself. But also, like a Flux or hell, even the Magnus we've been seeing lately apparently likes to go that.
It's on Sustainer now.
Yeah, Sustainer, I mean...
But because I thought it was going to be a Storm Spirit, because I know whenever Root of Z plays Magnus, like secondary sword, he goes to Storm Spirit straight after the Portal Key, but I haven't actually seen Boxy play Magnus that much, so I'm not 100% sure on what items he normally goes for. But with the Sustainer, I mean, it could be obviously a number of things.
I think it's going to be the Nullstone. I mean,
yeah.
Nullstone is pretty good this game. Honestly, you do look at the Legion team, it will stop some pretty good abilities, and for the most part, there's nothing that's really like, oh, well, they just waste that, not a big deal, other than maybe the Essence Link from Empath. But even that, it's like still a pretty strong ability that you don't just want to waste necessarily, so...
and there's the Sanitarius picked up by Flux, which I mentioned before. I thought that was going to... But with this said, like, they need some kind of initiation. I know they have the Flux that would sort of start like a fight off, but I still think a portal key would help them in terms of initiation so much more. But yeah, you'll see in the next team fight how tanky Cracky is with the Insanitarius, and he's one of those players that Magnus might be in trouble actually.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble. I don't think he's realizing how many people are actually here. They're gonna collapse on him. He's just finishing the creep.
So ballsy, man. He's so ballsy.
He's like, I want this creep.
Yeah, like that's why he's right. Oh, middle lane.
They're gonna catch Devour. Yep. And Sanitarius Flux, as you're just talking about. Jeez. It is crazy seeing, but hey, it works right there. But yeah, so we'll indeed see if this works out. And actually, Eruption going to be channeled. He's expecting a fight, and well, he was wrong. So Legion team did not want to.
Yeah, I know. This sustainer pickup though is really like Nullstone. It's just so different. I know Boxy like does what he wants, but to me, it's so weird and so different.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's working out though. They're up like 9,000 gold and 3.5k XP. So I mean. You can only, criticize his item choices so much, even though they're going to win. So, or they're not going to win, but they're winning.
They're in a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's only so much you can really criticize.
It's the hindsight thing. It's like if this does throw and then like it starts to go downhill, then that's where you're like, I mean, kind of like yesterday with the Reason versus CiC matchup, or the Vindicator, the Assassin chat. It's like initially it's like, okay, we'll see how this works. It does promote aggressive play and everything, but then in the later game, it's like by the end we're just like, okay, that was a dumb pickup. Why did he go that? So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the logic is there, man. I mean, there's a reason why it's like Magnus Portal Key is just a absolute core go-to every single game. So we'll see if it works out this time around if that backfires. But Devour, he's going to go for the hook. He lands on a torch right there. TP is coming in. Magnus, he wants to save his teammate, though. He dies, but now he's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have that PK, so he's not going to be porting out. And actually, he's in no man's land here, as is Gunblade. Gunblade did get the kill on a Bubbles, but he's taking a lot of damage from Warbies, and he will be locked down long enough. Magnus, in the meantime, is Steam Bath. He's going to run away. He has the stun up now with that power supply use. And, I mean, he should be fine, maybe.
He's so tanky, though, isn't he, actually?
Okay,
with that Helm of Black Legion as well as sustain, though, if he does decide to go on the Nullstone, and then Flox is building his Sanitarius tanky as well. It's quite similar to actually what we saw in Game 3 of Reason CiC, actually. They all just build up and just went so super tanky, and it's going to be actually middle lane.
I don't know about this. They're kind of committing to a fight without their Gunblade, but actually, this could work out, especially with the Diva Hook missing right there. More so it hit the creep that was just in the way. Drunkamaster, they're going to dive right here. The stun, it did not hit Devour, though. So Flux is still locked down, but he is hitting pretty hard. And he is tanky. The double damage here, the Insanitarius. He's going to barely live. No, he will fall in the end. The hook to finish off Aluna. A double tap for Diglett. That's what I was saying, though. I don't know if Willowkeeper, they really should have gone right there. And they're also going to lose Torture, too. Yeah, he's dead. He's going to fall.
I mean, Willowkeeper are still in such a good position though. 6,000 gold lead is nothing to scoff at, and I mean obviously didn't have the Gunblade fight in there. I think they might just be maybe a little bit overconfident. Oh yeah, we're so strong, we're so tanky, like we're not going to fall. And in the end, they only had like 3 heroes against The Last of Us 5. But I mean I think they're still in a strong position. But yeah, going back to what I was going to say about the item pickup though, it's sort of similar to what CiC did against Reason, where they just tanked up on the Magnus and Flux, and you saw how hard it was in that Game 3 to really bring them down. And in this case, although they do have maybe a bit more physical or late game damage in terms of Warbeast and Drunken Master, it's still going to be quite hard to drop them. Like particularly with the slipperiness of Magnus and with his Steam Bath and Lava Surge. So we'll have to see how it's going to work out in team fights. Yeah,
eventually get to that point. Now Gunblade is going the Shrunken Head actually, so he is going to go that direction. Not going to go the Geometer Spain here. I mean, I agree with you honestly earlier. You look at this Legion team, it's not like a whole lot that you're like, oh, I need a Shrunken Head against, but he's going to go for it. They're going to find Empath. And again, you just see the damage. As soon as that grappling shot comes out, I mean, no chance for Empath to live right there. So I wonder now if he grapples on an Empath and Empath jumps in a teammate. Like, I assume that he would just like fall off and not jump on the other guy too. So. But
it's kind of like similar to like Gemini when she jumps to the Gemini and Gemini splits, then it jumps out. I'd assume because it would make a lot of.
It's like all of a sudden he hooks onto the guy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I think it would just cancel out. To be honest, that's what I would assume. I'm not 100% sure. I don't play Gunblade that much though, so I
who the hell does?
Tell you with certainty.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's how it works though.
This Flux picked up a Warhammer though. I'm guessing he's going to go Shrunken Head as well. I guess they just don't want to get locked down by the Bubbles or even the Devourer, even though they can go for Shrunken Head. I don't know. The Shrunken Head is still a little bit. It just doesn't seem needed for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like 3,900 gold that could be spent, elsewhere. I mean, yeah, the Shrunken Head is still going to help, but I still think like another item costing 3,900 gold would be maybe better spent. But I guess it's their decision in the end, and they might get a better feel of the game. I mean, it's easy for us as casters to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but obviously we're not the ones playing the game, and they're going to get a better feel for the game.
Gunblade's in trouble. Here we go. Devourer jumps in with this new purchased portal key. He is going to pop that demonic shield, but you see right here, Assassin Truck comes out. He's going to dodge the hook as he went for the blind one, and the Kelpfield is going to wear off and allowing him to walk away. So big escape there from Gunblade. Has also got some assistance from Flux right there, obviously, with the push. So, but yeah, so the Shrunken Head, it's all bubbles though. I mean, I think Kelpfield especially is one of those abilities. It's like kind of like the energy field from Engineers. Like that alone is scary enough to be like, I kind of want a Shrunken Head. So that and Song of the Sea for that matter. So.
I mean, I'd maybe agree with a Shrunken Head against Engineer, but I mean, bubbles. Still not the strongest. I mean, they might be just scared, but then it's not like they have any channeling ulties. I'd understand maybe Magnus going to Shrunken Head because he doesn't want to get his eruption cancelled. But in terms of Gunblade, it's not like he has a channeled spell, but he does pick up the Shrunken. What I was going to say there before is that these are the players who are playing the game, that they might be able to get a better feel for the tempo of the game and just a better feel for the game altogether, so they might have a better insight onto what items to go than us as casters, because they're actually the ones playing the game. And even it could be maybe like the captain's call as well, saying, oh, you need to get Shrunken Head, everyone gets Shrunken Heads. So it might not be his decision anyway in the end. So.
Very true. He is able to dodge the portal key hook attempt right there from Devour, so going to be fine and going to clean up the rest of the creep wave here in the meantime. So, again, if you're Willowkeeper here, you got the Shrunken Head now finished on him. Nullstone is finished on Magnus. It seems like they're going to be pretty confident maybe going for something, although Flux is not with them currently, so this is a little dangerous, actually. And if they keep going here, I mean, they're going to get jumped and being outnumbered, and actually, here we go. Devour going for the hook. He does it. What the hell was that? Gunblade gets hooked in, but he is going to be fine.
Jeez.
That was fun. Portal Key Devo, man.
If you hook and then Portal Key before the hook lands, you can almost determine where the hook's gonna end up, if that makes any sense. I've tried to do it before. Like if you hook after the hook lands, then it won't work. You have to do it mid-hook, if that makes any sense. And it's not the easiest thing to do, but when it does work, it can pay off very well. But in the end, Magnus did stun in and save Torture in the end. So
yeah.
But I think that was the right thing to do though for the Last of Us. They saw Flux pushing up top lane. And they knew they were 45, so I actually think Willowkeeper are quite lucky not to not lose any members there actually in the end.
Yeah, that was exactly. That's what I was getting at going into that. And it's like, do you really want to do this, guys? Because Flux is not with you, and it almost backfired. But it worked out in the end in terms of not really anyone lost. Now, he does have the Shrunken Head finish as well. So, again, it's arguable if that was the best decision to be going. But in the end, they do have those items. And those are usually items that incentivize maybe we'll want to start getting involved in some fights here. Because, again, you look at late game potential. And sure, Gunblade, as great as he is, I think you got to give the edge to the Legion team here as far as later game potential and making this a farm game here. So, sooner the better here for Willowkeeper, I would think.
Although we did say that again in Game 3 of Reason vs Zinc, and
true.
Flux and Magnus just so tanky.
Warbeast alone, though, dude. That guy.
That's true. I mean, in Reason they only had Vindicator and Puppet, who wasn't very fun. Vindicator going not the strongest of item builds, but I think that's the right thing. What they need to do here is to get Conga. They're Hellborn after all, and with the advantage, it's so much easier to take Conga after Legion's tier 1 towers are down. But it looks like Legion want to defend though, so we're gonna have a fight up here brewing.
I don't want to not give this up for free, at least. Devour is looking for the angle. Again, he has that portal key hook ready to go. Maybe. Yep, he's going to use it right there. Gets the angle that he's going for. There's the Flux pull. No, stops the Devour ultimate. Gunblade's able to put in an auto attacks. He gets the 1 kill out of Bubbles. He hasn't used the Shrunken Head just yet. There we go. Magnus Eruption coming off. Untouchable is up for Drunken Master. Empath inside. He's trying to get away. Will he be able to somehow? No. Magnus stun hits, and down he falls, and that means Empath is KO'd as well. They're going to go back to Kongor and most likely clean it up. So the initiation was there for The Last of Us, but at the same time, Flux was ready to respond.
Yeah, and like the tankiness coming out from Magnus and Flux, although they focused a little bit on Gunblade, they were hitting up onto Flux, and him with that Insanitarius, he just does not drop. And after one of a few heroes were dropping on The Last of Us, their sort of teamfight potential was just dropped off completely, and just the sort of sustainability coming out from Willowkeep, it was just enough to take that team fight. And now a 13,000 gold, along with token, I mean, it's looking really, really bad for the Last of Us right now.
And it is. And you know what just happened? Magnus just purchased a portal key. Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, I saw his eruption not doing the biggest.
Yeah. Oh, they catch Devour on the uphill over here. He's going to be fine, but kind of boxing it out. But yeah, this hasn't been the most impactful with those eruptions. Oh, he gets hooked in, though. And I think Devour might almost regret that. No, he's going to be fine. There's the portal key coming into play as he uses it to get away right there. So big push coming out from Willowkeeper. And yeah, that was a statement fight right there because now you got the token here on Gunblade. He actually goes a Blessed Orb here. Yeah, kind of interesting, actually. I mean, I think it's going to be the Geometer's Bane, but why go that instead of the Firebrand first? I don't know.
I understand like, this whole Hellborn team is like going for like sort of tankiness, so that could be the motto.
But on him, though,
yeah, and also
Blessed
Orb is like the most stat inefficient item like in the game. Like for 10 stats, for 10 total stats for 2,100 gold, it's a lot better to go into the Firebrand. I think Firebrand's like one of the best like items for its cost, and so I think Firebrand would be better. But I don't know, we might not even see a Geometer's Bane on this hero after all, perhaps.
I don't know. Sheepstick, I mean.
Yeah. But they're so far ahead now that, as long as they're spending the gold, it doesn't matter 100% on what they're using on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, Devour Hook.
Goes right through him. It was just in front of it. So, but yeah, if they get to pick off on Gunblade, that could definitely start a train here of momentum. So, again, they still have Warbies. Warbies has the Struck-At finish. Probably see a full Demonic Breastplate going to be worked on next, and he most certainly hits hard, and that does go back to the tanky aspect here, the Hellborn side, though. And again, Flux now another 2,300 gold saved up, so does he go Portal Key now as well in this case here?
Whenever I saw Cracky play Flux, it was normally they left the initiation coming up from Magnus, and he would just go other items. And he picks up the Bulwark here. I think it's probably the right choice. They need sort of middle lane.
They're gonna jump him now. Again, he is tanky though. He's gonna buy some time for his teammates. In comes the Shrunken. Here come the teammates. Oh, he pushes them away. I don't know if that's what he meant to do, but actually Warbies comes in, and now Gunblade gonna jump into Warbies. He's latched on, but a big hook from Devour to take him right off. So the grappling shot is nullified there, but in the end, Bubbles does get picked up. That was a weird fight.
Yeah. I thought Cracky was overstepping his boundaries, trying to man up against the Warbeast, but good rotation coming in, and they did at least get the bubbles there. And you saw the Gunblade actually following Warbeast. It was only sort of cancelled by the range coming out from Devour's hook, actually. So the Gunblade does actually work quite effectively against Warbeast, actually.
That was, like I said at the beginning, I wonder if Flux purposely meant to push him like that, because it almost seemed like they were ready to jump in as a team. But he almost might have just panicked himself, or he just simply was on the wrong.
Although he was very low, though.
Yeah,
he was very low. I think if he didn't actually push him away, he might have died. But you saw how tanky he was, though. He was like tanking them for at least like 6 or 7 seconds of all the damage coming out from Warbeast and Devour, and he just about survived in the end. So even better team fight coming out from Willowkeeper, and they're getting further and further ahead, and it's getting to the point where there's not much really that the Last of Us can really do to get back into this game unless a massive throws happen for Willowkeeper. And we've seen the throws coming before, so it's definitely not out of the picture.
Yes. I mean, it didn't have this big of a lead by any means against Reason Gaming earlier, but they definitely had some good chances, and unfortunately some not the best decisions came out. So we'll see how this obviously finishes up, and it's a matter of getting the job or finishing the job even. It is fun seeing this Flux, though, man. I mean, usually, like, by the time the late game hits, like, sure, we've seen some Fluxes that the Doombringer game even. We've seen Frosted Skull seems to be. He has some good damage threat. He's hitting pretty hard right now. We're only 32 minutes in, and he's quite a right-click threat at this point with the items that he has. So
yeah, it's the way Cracky sort of builds him, though. Like, it's so kind of manly and kind of battle build Flux. It's the first time I've really seen like Flux pick up. I remember when we used to sort of scrim against him, like, and you're just trying to take the Flux down, and it's so demoralising, especially when he can get like the double clicks off on Insanitarius to get his health back. It's so demoralising not to get a kill, particularly if you sort of focus Flux down, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And being such a tanky mess, it soaks up so much damage, and they don't have that much AoE damage coming out from the Legion side, so like they'd have to focus him with single targets, which does soak up the damage. I mean, you get some if you're against like an AoE team, and like soaking up damage is completely pointless because it's going to do damage to everyone. But for single target sort of heroes like the Legion team, building tanky on certain heroes is quite useful, because you can really soak up damage instead of your team.
You know,
it's fun.
Devourer right there, I don't think that was the right decision. He actually went for a portal key hook right there. Honestly, he was on the uphill. I think he should have just hooked him and they should have gotten the kill on Gunblade, or at least gone for it. But he went for kind of more the flashy portal key hook, and because of that, I'm pretty sure it actually just was kind of out of range and not at the best angle, so he missed it. But, I mean, in the end, not the biggest deal, but there are cases where you sometimes just want to do the normal hook and not go for that flashy PK hook. But, so yeah, you see another Mana 2 picked up on Boxy here, playing this Magmus. So now probably we're going to see that Storm Spirit as you're getting at earlier. Yeah, that's true. That's true at this point, actually. I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
I think Sheepstick would be a better pickup, actually, than the Storm Spirit. I mean, Storm Spirit is normally good, sort of save, like a all-in carry, and they're not really sort of focusing this Gunblade down anyway, so I don't think Sheepstick's really needed, because Legion aren't really focusing down like a particular hero, so I think Sheepstick would probably be the pickup here coming out from Boxy instead of the Storm Spirit.
Yeah. Geometer's Bane is finished by Gunblade. Just got that purchased.
Chose the Placidor before. I think it was just sort of tank up or whatever in terms of the 10 strength.
Yeah, get a little bit more there. Hey, it's worked out in the end, so yeah, nothing really too much to complain about. But actually, he does need to be careful here. He's kind of by himself, and if Devourer manages to land a hook, this could be big. Oh, he kind of goes back in. Actually, he knows they're here. He's going to pop the Geometer's Bane. He has Assassin Shroud and Shrunken Head. He does get hooked in. He pops the Assassin Shroud, but they see him. They dusted him already. He has the Shrunken. Will he use it? Yes, he will. He's looking to latch on, maybe. No, they collapse on him. And down he falls. So Diglett landed the hook. That's what they needed right there.
And like a few more of those, and I mean the last one's definitely back in this game though. It's just that a little bit of sloppy play coming out from like Tree. They probably realise how far they are ahead. Maybe a little bit more laxed in their approach. Whether they might be waiting for the next Congo before they go high ground, really, just to play it safe. And Balthazar just overstepping his boundaries a tiny bit. But in the end, it was just really good hook coming out from Diglett. Though one of those long range hooks, kind of hard to actually hit, but he does get it in the end.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to get the tier 1 bottom as well because of that kill, actually. They might be trying to set up, though.
Magmus stuns in, channeling the eruption. The big red stuff from Aluna. That's going to lock him down. No, he gets the Shrunken Head off, and he's going to turn around with auto attacks. The stun must hit other things, actually. I thought a 5-second stun hit, but it must have been the creep or something. But Magmus, he's going to sit in that sea bath. He tries to deny the tower. He's unsuccessful, and now he's going to run away. So, yeah, they went for the kill, and Warbeast manned up, and that worked out plentiful. And again, it's still a lead here for Willowkeeper, but this is what you're talking about. It's like you cannot be too certain, especially against a Warbeast that's honestly doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think Box is going for the Frostfield play, actually. Something, again, we saw from Magmus or Kazu in the Reason Zinc game, actually, just adding to that even more tankiness. And I think the Frostfield play is good, obviously, going against a lot of physical damage from Drunken and Warbeast, and he's just going to try and soak up as much damage along with the Flux. So, I mean, Sheepstick would be good as well, but he just preferred on the tankiness over sort of the support lockdown.
So he sold the Mana Tube and then bought the. Okay, I was like, wait, Mana Tube doesn't make a Frostfield play.
Yeah.
Double check that, but okay, yeah, that is interesting there. And Devour, that was an illusion, so nothing much coming to that. But I mean, his armor is 26 armor now with that Frostfield plate, and yeah, he's most certainly tanked up because of that. Like I said, though, Warbeast does have a Brutalizer picked up now, so he's gonna be more of a threat in terms of being able to lock down himself. Now he doesn't have a demonic just yet, so his attack speed's still a little bit lacking compared to what it can be. But that's a coming. Devour goes for the portal key hook. Obviously misses it, but hey, you gotta take the chances you get. Speaking of demonic, Flux is able to finish his full demonic in the meantime, so that tank aspect continues. Void Talisman on Torture. That's a very good item, to say the least, against this Legion team. In general, especially against the Warbeast and, of course, the Drunken Master, who has a Shield Breaker now, so the physical threat even more so on their side. And, this could turn out to be one of those games. If it does go a lot later, like if this hits like the late game, like 50 to 60 minute mark, I would not be surprised to see a Harkons here on the Legion side.
That is true, actually. I mean, there's we mentioned it in the last series against Reason Zinc, whether Vindicator was going to go the Harkon's blade, and it could definitely work up here. They're stacking a lot of armor, particularly on Magmus and Flux, actually.
Yeah,
that's definitely a possibility.
I feel like also Gunblade, I mean, again, I was going to say his farm is not as strong as maybe you want it to be, but it is 434 gold per minute, so it's actually not too bad in the end. I mean, his items obviously kind of speak for that, and they're going to go for Kongor here in the end, and I don't know if the Legion team, they're going to send over the Hellhound, so they will spot this. The question is, will they look to stop it? Last time it did not work too well.
Yeah, but I think if they lose Kongor, they're probably most likely going to lose a team fight 5-on-5, and fighting against Kongor is going to be even harder. So they might have to at least try and do something, or at least try and fight into the Kongor pit, because at least they're going to be fighting 5v5 instead of 5v6 with Token.
They are going to give it up. I mean, they do counter push in the end, but they just don't feel comfortable dealing with that. So Gunblade is going to pick up the Token of Life, and might even immediately head towards pushing in the Legion base right here. At this rate, all outer towers are obviously destroyed in their favor. Middle first tower is still up on the Hellborn side even. 39 minutes in, so there is some resources there to be taken still by the Last of Us. And actually, they need to be careful not to get caught out here. Legion team might want to try to catch them off guard. Oh, Devour gets caught right away by Gunblade. Ant-Man jumps aside, though. They're going for the turn. Magnus in the background. He gets sung in the seat as soon as he was ready to go in. Now he will stun him still, and Devour does fall. Here comes Drunken Master, though. They lock down Gunblade. They get the kill. He has a token, though. Going to be coming right back up. As soon as he does, they focus attention on him. No, he assassin trying to away. Out comes the dust, though. He jumps onto Bubbles. Bubbles will fall from Gunblade right there as the hook hits Kraken Flux, but he is tanky, and he honestly hits pretty hard once again. Drunken Master hanging around a little too long. Ends up falling, and Warby's out of ulti form. Is not going to continue to commit. So a decent jump there from The Last of Us, but not enough as Willowkeeper will fight through.
Yeah, and I think that was the best opportunity The Last of Us ever. Oh my god, look at that hook.
It's just fun seeing that.
Insane. But I think that was the best chance The Last of Us had, really. They were fighting it when not even... Oh, more initiation actually coming in on Devour.
Yeah, he's going to end up falling. And you see Drunken Master. I mean, buybacks, yes, a couple of buybacks have already happened. Devour did and died, so yeah. The best chance and probably not much more now.
Because, I mean, the Willowkeeper weren't even as five when that team fight even occurred. So, I mean, that was their best chance. And that didn't even work out very well anyway, so I think this would be GG, and they're going to go on to game 2 very shortly here.
Yeah. Willowkeeper going to more than likely take care of business. You even see Warbeast right there. He goes in ulti form, hoping for the best, and that doesn't happen. So yeah, a little bit of a scare there in terms of Willowkeeper and having the lead and getting picked off here and there, and actually The Last of Us maybe jumping back into it, but Willowkeeper does secure the job, and they get their first win here in the Pro League. So congratulations especially to them on that. Getting that first game win out of the way. I know that in itself has to be kind of like a relieving feeling, like, okay, well, we won once at least. But no, most certainly, again, a team that would not be surprised to see this team even top 4 by the end and making some plays. But they do take the first game over The Last of Us. But again, as we expected, this should be a good series, and first game definitely was solid. But Gunblade did some work. But honestly, I think that was just more about the tankiness, like you were talking about, and the team play on the end.
And I think, to be fair, I think the Legion draft is a little bit almost counter synergy. They've got a few heroes that kind of are focused on different team strategy. You've got like Devour and the Bubbles, kind of early game gank and sort of early aggression. Then you've got the Drunken Master Warbeast who really get going later stages of the game, and they're really weak at the early stages. And it's one of those lineups that they kind of want to do. Their heroes want to do different things at different stages of the game, and they don't have all synergy. Compare it to like the Hellborn sort of draft. They can all get involved earlier on. They're quite tanky. They want to fight. Gunblade, regardless of what kind of farm you can get, you can fight earlier on compared to say the Warbeast. And as a result, the tree in Willowkeeper lineup and draft just had a little bit more synergy, and as a result, it just worked out a bit better. But hopefully, maybe a different draft coming out from The Last of Us in Game 2, and hopefully we at least get a Game 3 as well.
Indeed, yeah. I don't think this is one of those of we need to ban Gunblade now kind of games by any means. So I don't think we're going to see attention on that necessarily. But overall, definitely better play from Willowkeeper and deserving the win. So. As always, guys, stay tuned. We got game number 2 going to be coming up right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pro League, Willowkeeper versus The Last of Us. Game number 2 going to be coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.